Greetings of the day to all of you. As we have started the part of grammar in our previous lecture, and today also in our tutorial session, we are also going to discuss about the same point. As we know that whenever we want to appear for an interview, so what kind of knowledge we have, and especially the knowledge which is related with the language. We should have the command over the language. And whenever we try to speak about the language, so in the language, we want to take care about our grammar. We want to take care about our pronunciation, whatever kind of pronunciation we have, whatever kinds of soft skills we have, and we have studied already what are the various kinds of uses of the tenses, what is meant by noun, what are the various kinds of types of the noun. Okay, then what is meant by pronoun, what are the various kinds of types of the pronoun. So like this also in our today's lecture, in our today's session, we are also going to discuss related with what is meant by adjective and what is meant by adverb. Okay, so just let me share our PPT. So the point that we are going to study today, so we can call to this point as the uses of the adjectives and the adverbs. Okay, so in our previous lecture, I have informed to you that whenever we are reading in the paragraph from our book, so at that time it will be our work that we need to find out various kinds of parts of speech in which whether is it a noun, pronoun, adjective, adverb. Okay, what is the conjunction which is used here, what is the preposition which is used here, and what kind of tense also we can found here. So these are the ways through which we are trying to learn the grammar as soon as possible, and this is a matter of more and more practice. The more and more practice we are doing, so at that time it is going to be very easy to us to study about the grammar. We need to study the grammar. We want to do the more and more practice of solving the various kinds of examples. And very important, when we want to learn the grammar, then we want to discuss about it. This is the only way through which we are going to improve our grammar. Okay, so related with the parts of speech, how the what is meant by noun, what is meant by pronoun. So like this, today we are going to study about the uses of the adjectives and the adverbs. We found various kinds of adjectives are used whenever any one of the program will be there. It can be the co-curricular activity. For a moment, if we are going to organize any one of the guest lectures, so when we are going to introduce any one of the guests, okay, any one of the invited guests, so at that time we are habituated to use the various kinds of adjectives. So now that's why now let us try to understand the meaning of the adjective. So the adjective is nothing but it's a one kind of word, and this kind of word which is trying to give us more and more information about the noun and the pronoun. Okay, so for example, here I have put an example in front of you. In this example, Virat Kohli is best batsman in the world. So here in this example, the best it is used as an adjective, and here this best is trying to give the one kind of information about the noun, that is the Virat Kohli. So the why the Virat Kohli is considered as one of the best batsmen in the world, because here he is always trying to do one kind of practice of playing the cricket matches, playing the batting specially. So that's why adjective is nothing but this is a one kind of word which is trying to give to us one kind of information related with the noun and the pronoun. So that is called as an adjective. Okay. So now whenever we are also reading any one of the book, in that book we are also trying to find out the various kinds of determiners are used. Okay, various kinds of determiners are used, and these kinds of determiners are nothing but these are the small group of words. These group of words which are also working as an adjective. Here whatever kinds of articles we have, like a and the, okay, these are also called as the determiners. Okay, then at the same time, here the words like this, that, these, those. When we can use the word this, we can use the word this whenever any one of the thing is near to us. Okay, this is my mobile. Whenever you are saying, and when we can use the that, we can use the that whenever any one of the thing is too much away from us. So at that time we are going to use that. Okay, so like this also, mine, our, your, his, her, what, which, whose. So these are all the various kinds of determiners are there which we are using in our written form of the communication, and at the same time we are using these determinants in our oral form of the communication. And whenever we are trying to find the various kinds of articles, so these articles which are also trying to give to us one kind of information, and that kind of information can be related with the noun and the pronoun. So that's why we can also call here to the articles that as an adjective, because these articles are going to play a very significant role in our written form. Okay, like the articles, whenever we are trying to do the description about any one of the words, so while doing the description, while describing that kind of object, or while describing that kind of picture, or while describing any one kind of human being, so here we are using the various kinds of adjective. Beautiful. Okay, Sneha is a beautiful girl. Okay, so this is the one adjective that we have used in this sentence. Then another is the big, the word big. Okay, Ramesh has a very big belly. Okay, here in this example also, the word big is also trying to give the more and more information about that particular individual. So that's why whenever we are using the various kinds of adjectives, so these kinds of various kinds of adjectives which are trying to give us, or which are trying to tell us the more and more information about the noun and the pronoun. Okay, like the word blue also. I wear blue trouser today. So we can say here like this. So here the word blue, it is trying to give us the more information about the trouser to us. Okay. So for like the descriptive adjectives, here some adjectives are also there which we are finding in our reading, in which some adjectives which are ending with ing adjectives. Okay, for example, here I have put an example in front of us, that is the boring. Okay, but don't feel you bored because this is afternoon session, still you want to be active. Okay, so here the example boring which is used, which is also considered as an adjective, and this word it also tries to show to us one kind of reason and the cause. Okay, so like here the ing adjectives, here we have also ed adjectives, and here in this kind of ed adjectives, here I have put an example in front of you, that is bored. So this is trying to show to us one kind of result, and at the same time this is also trying to show us one kind of effect. So that's why we need to keep it in mind that whenever we are trying to find the words, whenever we are trying to find the verbs which are added by ing and the ed, which are also considered as an adjective, okay, which are trying to convey to us, which are trying to describe the noun and the pronoun. Okay, now like this also, whenever we are also trying to do the comparison, especially whenever we study the degrees. So while doing the study about the degree, here we found that we are trying to do a one kind of comparison. Okay, so when we are going to do the comparison, okay, while doing the comparison, here we are using the word more or less plus adjective plus than. Ramesh is taller than Mohan. Okay, so here again, this is just one example. So here in this example, we found that one kind of comparison is done. Okay, Ramesh is as good as Soham. Okay, here again we are using the as plus adjective plus as. It is also trying to tell to us one kind of equality. Okay, equality between the two persons. Okay, and here also one kind of comparison between the two persons whenever we are trying to do the comparison. So that's why whenever we are trying to remove the sentences in our oral communication, and whenever we want to do a one kind of comparison, so at that time we want to keep it in mind that we are going to use the second form of that adjective when we are trying to do the comparison, and then the word than we want to use. Okay, then whenever we are trying to tell the equality between the two persons, so at that time we are trying to use as plus adjective plus as. This is a matter of practice. Okay, if you are trying to utilize that word in your one sentence in your oral communication and one sentence in your written form, then it is the easiest way to learn the grammar in an interesting way, to learn the grammar in a funniest way. Okay, then we have the third type related with the adjective, that is the superlatives. Okay, here again we are using the word most plus adjective. So these are the easiest way whenever we are trying to study. Okay, the cd sd. Okay, superlative degree, comparative degree. Okay, so it is going to be very helpful to us. So when we are trying to study about also about the adjectives, at that time we need to also follow the one kind of order in which determiners, in which as we have discussed, we are using various kinds of particles, the words like wh words. Okay, then the words like this, that, these, those. So these are considered as the determiners in the context of the linguistics. Okay, so then the while using the various kinds of, whenever we want to present the various kinds of opinions, So we are using the various kinds of adjectives like the size or the shape, bigger or the smaller. Okay, related with the age, elder. Okay, elder or older. Color, various kinds of colors are there. Then related with the origin. Okay, so this is the one kind of order, and whenever we are trying to define any one of the size, shape, age, color, origin, material, purpose. Okay, so at that time we are using the word adjective. Meesho, as you know, Meesho, it is one of the application, online application, which we can download from the Google Play Store, and from that application we are getting the more and more information about the latest clothes. Okay, clothes for women and clothes for men also. Okay, so that's why whenever we are going to study about an adjective, so this adjective will be nothing but the words related with color, shape, origin, and the opinion. Okay, now like the adjective, we have also the another term that we can call to this term as adverb. So is the concept of adjective clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you for your quick reply. Now can I start the next PPT?
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank
sir.
you. So now we have the second very important kind of parts of speech that is called as adverbs. Okay, so like adjectives also, again here adverbs are the various kinds of words which are also trying to give us the more and more information about the verb, about adjective and adverb. For example, here I have put here one example. Soham speaks loudly. Okay, how the Soham is trying to speak to us? He is trying to speak us very loudly. Okay, so whenever she walks very slowly. So again here in another example, we are using the word slowly as adverb in this sentence. Okay, so that's why we are using the various kinds of adverbs also in our day-to-day communication that we need to take care. And what exactly here these kinds of adverbs they are trying to do? Here these kinds of adverbs which are trying to give us the answers of the questions like when, okay, why, how, where are you going? Then you will give the reply, I am going to Kolhapur or I am going to Ichalkaranji. So how are you? Then you are saying I am fine. So like this, whenever we are asking these various kinds of questions, then whenever we are trying to give the answers of these questions, then we are using here the various kinds of adverbs. Okay, so here I have used the various kinds of words. So these words which are considered as the adverbs that we are daily using in our written form of the communication and at the same time in our oral form of the communication. Here the word ALWAYS. I found that most of the people they are pronouncing this word as the always. Always. It is not always, but it is always. Always. Okay. So always, however, enough, tomorrow, very slowly. So these are all the adverbs that we are using, okay, at present time. So these are called as the adverbs. So according to this, there are the various kinds of types of the adverbs, and these kinds of types of the adverbs will be very helpful to us to use these exact words in our written form. Okay, the first is the adverb of manner. Okay, when we try to speak about the manner, the way of speaking. Okay, the way of wearing the dress. So these are called as the manners. Okay, the way of talking. So whenever we want to use the adverb of manner, So that adverb of manners is nothing but it is trying to tell us how. Here the word how is very important whenever we try to speak about the manner. Okay, how old am I? Okay, so here the word how it is trying to tell us the adverb of manner. Here I have put various kinds of examples in front of us in which the words like the angrily, okay, the word bad, well, quietly, loudly. So these are all the various kinds of words which are trying to convey to us what kind of adverb of manner. How he speaks loudly. Okay, how is he behaving? Is he behaving angrily in a angrily mood or is he in a good mood? Okay, so the adverb of manner in which how. Okay, then we have the another type of adverb. So we can call to this another type of adverb as adverb of degree. So adverb of degree is nothing but it is trying to tell us in short how much, okay, how much sugar do you need in your tea? Whenever we are asking it like this, so at that time we are using the adverb of degree, especially here the word like really, okay, very, quietly, extremely, absolutely. So these are all the various kinds of words which are trying to tell us the quantity in number, how much, okay. Then we have another type of adverb. So we can call to this another type of the adverb as the adverb of place. So we are using the various kinds of words in our written form. Okay, adverb of place is nothing but it is trying to tell us about the where. Okay, here we are using the word here. Okay, there are so many chocolates in my pocket. Okay, when we are using this word, where are the chocolates? The chocolates are in my pocket. Okay, Chhatrapati Shahu terminus is situated near the, okay, near the CBS bus stand. So whenever we want to use the word nearby, so we can use the adverb of place. Okay, so these are the words which are trying to tell us whenever we want to use the word where, here, there. Okay, here are plenty of fables in our room, we can say. Okay, so at that time we are using the adverb of place. Okay, nearby, upstairs. So like the adverb of the place, we have also the adverb of time. Time means in short it is trying to give us the reply, the answer of the question when. Okay, I have visited Ichalkaranji yesterday. Okay, when we are using the word, then we want to use the word yesterday. I have had black coffee today. Okay, so here we can use the word today, yesterday, recently. I have had already my lunch. Okay, so like this, whenever we are using these various kinds of words like the today, yesterday, recently, already, okay, still. So these are all the various kinds of words which are suggesting to us one kind of adverb of time. So like the adverb of time, here we are also the adverb of frequency. It is trying to tell us how often. Okay, we are using the words like usually. Okay, like the words always, often, sometimes, never. Okay, I sometimes visited to Mumbai. Okay, like this when we want to use how often. Okay, so like this whenever we want to use the adverb of place, adverb of time, adverb of frequency. Okay, so then when we try to study about especially the structural part of our adverbs, so here we found that whenever we are using the helping verb plus adverb of frequency plus main verb. So this is the structure that we are going to framework whenever we are going to write, whenever we are going to framework the various kinds of sentences. Okay, so we have also the adverb of frequency, that is considered as the definite kind of adverb of frequency that we can use at the beginning of the sentence or that we can use at the ending of our sentence. So that's why it is called as the definite. Definite means it's considered as a sure. So related with adjective, whenever we want to present our position, it can be the position of the beginning, middle, or an ending. Okay. So to convey it, we are using the adverbs. There are also the various kinds of linking words. Linking words are trying to connect the two sentences, connect the two words. Okay. So we are using the words like the however, therefore, moreover. So these are all the various kinds of words which are called as the linking words. Okay. Like the linking words when we want to present our opinions. Okay. So we are using various kinds of words like the sadly, personally, fortunately. Okay. So adverb of degree, whenever we are using adverb of degree, then we want to keep it in mind that we are going to use an adjective here. Okay. Whenever we are also using the adverb of degree, we are also going to use the main verb. Okay, when we are going to use the adverb of manner, we are going to use also the transitive verb and the direct object. Okay, so this sequence, why I have given it, because it can be useful to us whenever we are trying to framework the sentences in our written form of the communication and at the same time in our oral form of the communication. Then we have also when we are using the be plus adverb of frequency plus main verb. Okay, intransitive verb plus adverb of manner, adverb of frequency, time. Okay, that can we can use at the end position. So these are the various structures I have put. These structures can be useful to us. So this was all about what is meant by an adjective, in which in short we have discussed about adjectives are nothing but which are trying to give us the more and more information about the noun and the pronoun. Okay, then we have studied about how the determiners articles which are also considered as an adjective. Okay, whenever we are finding the verbs added with ing and the ed which are also called as an adjective. Okay, so whenever we are using the words various kinds of forms of adjective in especially in the degrees, it is in the pd, cd, and the sd. These are also called as an adjective. Then we have studied about adverbs are nothing but adverbs are trying to give us the information about verb, adjective, and the adverb, and the adverbs and the types of adverbs like adverb of degree, adverb of manner. Okay, then adverb of time, place, frequency. Okay, and various kinds of structures where we are going to use various kinds of adverbs in a simplest way and in the easiest way. We want to keep it in mind all these things whenever we are remarking our sentences. So is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now I'm also going to share here the PPT that we have missed on that day. So that is what are the uses of the noun and the pronouns also. Okay, so let me just we have studied already that part, but let me show that PPT also to you. and I want to also discuss in short about this PPT also with us here also. Okay, so in our previous class, we have studied about the noun and the pronoun. Okay, so as we are familiarized with what is meant by noun, noun is nothing but it is the name of any one of the person, thing, place, or the quality that is called as the noun. Okay, so as we can see here, the definition, it is trying to define the noun, and whenever we are trying to see the functions of the noun, how the noun here is trying to function on the various kinds of levels in our given sentences, in our paragraphs. So here our noun can be subject, our noun can be the direct object, how it can be the indirect object, subject complement, object complement, okay, adjectives in a sentence. So these are the various kinds of functions of the noun that we can see. And whenever we are trying to see the dictionary in English language, so in the dictionary also here we are finding the various kinds of nouns are used. Most of the nouns we are finding, okay, in English vocabulary in various kinds of dictionaries. It can be the Roger Thesaurus, it can be the Cambridge Learner's Dictionary or Oxford Dictionary. Okay, then we have studied about how the here the nouns can be the person. Okay, here the examples like a girl, my mother, the president. Okay, Albert Einstein. So these were all the names of person. Then how here the adjective, how here also the noun, which are also considered as the name of place. Okay, like Disneyland, Mount Vesuvius, my bedroom. So these were all the nouns. Okay, so like the person, we also the noun are also the place. Okay, we can also use the nouns to tell the name of various kinds of things. I have Apple mobile. Okay, so we are also using the nouns to convey also the concepts, also various kinds of concepts, various kinds of activities, also processes like the process of communication, as I said you earlier. Okay, the concept of what is meant by organic chemistry. So here also these concepts whenever we are trying to convey. So how here the things can be also the nouns. Okay, so many hypothetical things are also there. So many imaginary things are also there where we are using the noun. For example, I wandered lonely as a cloud. Okay, here in this example also we are using the word cloud. It is as a noun. Okay, then how in the hypothetical example, how we are using the various kinds of words which are also considered as noun, like the freedom, corset, the elephant, basketball. Okay, then we have studied about the various kinds of types of the nouns. Common noun, it is nothing but it is a general name which is suggested to any one of the class or the group. Okay, the group of children. Okay, here I have given one example, country. Okay, the girl crossed the river. Okay, so here in this example, the girl and the river, which are considered as the common noun. And whenever we try to speak about the word like the Rutuja, it is considered as the proper noun. Whenever we are trying to speak about the river, okay, Ganga river. Okay, so then we can use the word proper noun. These are called as the proper noun, but these are the common nouns, okay, which are general in the nature. So that's why we are calling it as a common noun. Okay, then we have studied about How here again the common noun which are also divided into the sub types, in which the concrete noun is also considered as an abstract noun, okay, which can be perceived by our all the senses that we have, okay, or that is something that is real or the physical. I heard the doorbell. Here we are trying to heard the sound of the doorbell, but we are not able to see it, okay. So this is considered as a one kind of which we know through our senses, and that is a physical and the real, okay. The keyboard is sticky. So here in these two examples, here the word doorbell and the keyboard, which are uh, the real things and which we can sense here, okay, means which we can experience here through the touch, through the smell, okay. Then as I said earlier, an abstract noun is that cannot be perceived by our senses. Okay, here we are not able to see the fear, we are not able to see our confidence, whatever kind of confidence we have. So this is considered as a one kind of abstract noun. Okay, so here we have also the courage. Courage is considered as one of an abstract noun. Here we are not able to take the experience of the courage, we are not able to see that courage, okay. So that's why it is called as an abstract noun, okay. Then we have discussed about the various kinds of collective nouns. Collective nouns are nothing but which are trying to denote to us to any one of the which are trying to tell us about any one of the group or the collection of particular people, collection of particular things, okay. We are using the word our dy particle group. So this is a collective noun, dy particle group, when we use the word dy particle group, okay. So here we have the example in front of us, okay. That pack of lies is disgraceful. Here the pack of lies, this word, it is used as the collective noun. Like this also, in the following example, the pride of lions roam the savannah. Again also in this example, the pride of lions, it is also used as a collective noun. Okay, as I said earlier, there is also one kind of difference between the proper noun and the common noun. Proper noun is trying to speak about a one kind of specific person or the specific place, like the Jahangir Art Gallery. It is about specific place, a specific person, Bill Gates. Okay, and whenever we are writing the proper noun, at that time we want to keep it in mind that we are always trying to write the proper noun in a capital letters, okay. It should be always capitalized. For example, here in this word, does Tina have much homework to do this evening? So here in this example, the word Tina, it is used as this noun, and it is considered as a proper noun because it is trying to speak about the specific Tina, okay. Then I would like to visit Old Faithful. Old Faithful, it is an imaginary kind of place, okay, which is specified to us. So that's why it is called a proper noun. Okay, as we have studied what is meant by abstract noun, which we cannot don't, which we don't have the physical existence. Okay, honesty is the best policy. Okay, then what is meant by countable? What is the difference we are trying to found between the countable noun and uncountable noun? As its name suggested to us, counted nouns can be counted. Okay, counted nouns can be counted, and countable nouns which we are using with an article, okay, a and the, and we are also using this with words like some, any, a few, and many. Okay. For example, book, pen, how many, a lot of. So we are going to use the countable nouns also. Okay. Here is a cat. Here in this
Sir.
example, cat is a singular, and so that's why it is countable. Okay. Here are a few cats. Here are some cats. Okay. So these are examples. Okay, of the countable noun. Like the uncountable noun we also, which we cannot count. Here especially whenever we are using the uh, liquids which are considered as uncountable. Okay, we cannot count the air, sand. Okay, and uncountable noun which are always considered as a singular whenever we are trying to use all these kinds of uncountable noun with the words like a little, much, any, some. Okay, one example: water, advice, love. Okay, we cannot count the advice. We cannot count the love. How much love you have for me. So these are the uncountable nouns. Okay, here I also put various kinds of examples in front of us. An IQ test measures intelligence. Okay, here the intelligence is considered as a one kind of uncountable noun. Okay, students don't seem to have much homework these days. Here in this example also, it is referred to an unspecified, unquantifiable amount of the homework. So here homework is considered as an uncountable noun. Okay, we are just saying I want to complete the homework of chemistry, maths, BEE. Okay, that is uncountable noun. Possessive nouns are nothing but which are trying to show the ownership that particular thing is belonging from you. Okay, so that is called as the possessive. And whenever we are going to say about our ownership, so at that time we are using the word yes, apostrophe yes, yes. That is called as the apostrophe. Okay, apostrophe. And most of the nouns which are shows the one kind of possessiveness with an apostrophe and an yes. Okay, for example, the cat's toy was missing. Okay, the toy was belonging from the cats. Okay, this is a one kind of ownership, or that particular kind of thing is acquired or the possessed by that cat. Okay, so that's why here the cat, it possesses the toy, and we denote this by use of sir. Okay, at the end of cat. So that is called as a possessive noun. Okay, my friend's friend, we say my friend's friend. Okay, in this example also we can call it as the possessive noun. Okay, my father's friend. Okay, okay, so related with the possessive nouns, when the singular noun it is trying to end with the letters yes and the, so at that time we are trying to suggest the extra living of the sir. Okay, I have been invited to the boss house for dinner. Here we are using the word extra, sir or the. We have the two pronunciation for this word. Yes, in English it is called as the the for some time, and it is also called as sir for also the sometime. Then another example, Mrs. Sankey's coat is still hanging on the back of her chair. Okay, so again here the plural noun ending, here the plural noun ending in yes, it is trying to take an apostrophe to form a possessive. Okay, then we are also using the various kinds of plural nouns in our written form. So these plural nouns, whenever we are using, we want to also use the plural verbs. Many English plural nouns which are which we know that which are used or formed by while adding the words like letters yes and es to form a singular form. Okay, like the words cat, cats. Okay, these two cats are both black. Okay, and again how here the plural verbs are tax, taxes, house, houses, which are the plural nouns. Then we have studied also about the uses of various kinds of nouns, how the nouns are also used as subjects in the sentence. Ronnie is a fond of music. Here the word Ronnie is used as subject in this given example. This is a noun. And how the nouns are also used as objects, object of a verb in a sentence. Okay, it can be whether it can be the direct object or whether it can be indirect object in our sentence. Okay, then how the nouns are also used as subject and the object complement. Okay, so in this example, Mary is a teacher. Here the noun teacher is used as subject complement. Okay, subject complement which are also normally followed by the linking verbs like to be, become, or seem. Example: a teacher is what Mary is. Okay, so then we have also the another example. A related usage of the nouns can be also called how the noun can be also used as the object complement. Okay, I now pronounce you husband and wife. This is one example. And in this example, both words like the husband and the wife, which are used as object complement. Okay, these verbs are trying to tell to us, trying to make the naming or the creating the which are followed by the object complements. Then appositive nouns. Okay, appositive nouns are nothing but which are immediately trying to follow the another noun. Okay, in order to define, like my brother Michael is 6 years old. So here in this example, Michael is called as appositive here and trying to identifying the subject of the sentence, my brother. And as I said you earlier, while teaching the point of the adjective, how here the nouns can be also an adjective. He the speed demon. Okay, here the speed is normally a noun, but here it is acting as an adjective to modify the demon. Okay, then we have studied about what is meant by pronoun. Pronouns are also considered as important part when we are going to study about the grammar. So the pronouns are nothing but which are trying to give us the more and more information about the noun, which are used. These are the words which are used instead of noun, that is called as the pronoun. Okay, we are using the various kinds of personal pronouns in our day-to-day life, and these personal pronouns are referred to the person, like the subject, object, and the possessive. Possessive means belonging from that ownership. Okay, I, me, mine. So we are using the various kinds of pronouns like I, we, you, he, she, me. Okay, I, we, you, he, she, it, they. So these are the subjects as well as these are the pronouns also in the given sentences. Okay, we are also using like the various kinds of objects also. Me, us, okay, him, her. So these are all the objects. Okay, ourselves. This is a possessive. Okay, as I said, you possessive, it shows the ownership, our house. Okay, our house. And reflexive pronoun, which is also considered as one type of pronoun. Okay, whenever we are finding the word like the self, it is the easiest way to identify the reflexive pronoun. Whenever we are finding the self at the end of word, then it is considered as reflexive pronoun. So these are the techniques to learn the grammar. Okay, whenever you are finding the word self at the end, then it is considered as reflexive pronoun. So these are some of the hints that can be useful to us to learn the grammar as soon as possible. Okay. Then like the definite, indefinite pronoun, which is not sure. We are using the various kinds of words in our day-to-day life, which are always singular, like somebody, someone, someone is made for us. Okay. Someone, somewhere is made for us. So here in this example, whenever we are using this word, we are using the indefinite pronoun here. So these are all the examples of indefinite pronoun. Nothing, each, either, neither. Okay. Then the last pronoun that we are using in our day-to-day life, that is the called as the interrogative questions words. Okay. So here, whenever we are using the word what, at that time we want to know the general information. What is the name of your university? Okay. Then whenever we are using the word who, which is used as the subject pronoun. Okay. Who is your favorite teacher? Okay. Whenever we are using the word whom, it is also trying to tell us the object pronoun like the me and the her. Okay. Which which is your favorite game? Whenever we want to give the specific information about it, at that time we are going to use the word which. Okay. Which is the famous place at Kolhapur when we are using the word. So we want to know the specific information. Okay. So these are all the interrogative question words that we are using in our day-to-day life. Okay. So this is all about what is meant by noun and various kinds of types of the nouns. Okay. In which countable noun, uncountable noun, common noun. Okay. Proper noun. Okay. Possessive noun. Okay. Plural nouns. Then we have studied also about the uses of noun and what is meant by pronoun and what are the various kinds of uses of pronoun. Okay. So I'm sure that after today's class, whenever you are going to use the nouns and pronouns, whenever you are going to use the adverbs and the adjectives, so at that time you are going to take care about it. So is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What is the difference between comparative noun